So far in the Peg Chronicles, that was my first attempt. That's my second attempt. That was a lot easier to make. It took me about 10 minutes. So I've done the tin on the top the same, but I think I've just had another idea how I can do that tin on the top a little bit different and a little bit better. So I'm going to do another one. Right, I think I've had a slightly better idea. What I've done, I've folded the tin over that way. So what I can do, I can link it in. So I get a smooth end here, and then I get that's folded over that way, and that one's folded over that way, so it's linking into each other. So with a bit of luck, yeah. That's lovely and tight. Oh yeah. So that's a lot neater. And then I'm just going to put the pin into there. Right, that looks quite neat now. No sharp corners on. That's the part that's folding over. I've just found some tacks in the garage, and they were just slightly longer than the diameter of this. So what I've done, I've knocked it through, and I've done it on my makeshift anvil. So I've rounded that edge over as well. So the pin's all the way through now. So that is quite a good improvement. So I'm going to split it now at a 90 degree angle to that pin. I'd like them to split perfect down the middle, but the other two I've done, they've gone slightly off. They're following the grain of the wood, and I'm guessing you're probably not going to be able to tell how they're going to. Oh, that one. No, that one's the best so far. That's pretty much central. Yeah, that's the best one so far. Right, here we go, carving again. The wife says to me, "What are you doing today?" I said, "Oh, I'm making some pegs." She says, "What do you mean you're making some pegs?" I said, "I'm making some traditional gypsy clothes pegs." She says, "I've got some pegs." I says, "Yeah, I know, but you ain't got any gypsy clothes pegs." She says, "I know, because they're rubbish. I've got some plastic pegs with springs on." She's just not getting it. When I've done these, she'll start using them, then all her friends will want them. So I'm selling them. These are a penny, and this one is gonna. This will be a penny halfpenny, and then I'm gonna do some tuppenny ones and some threepenny ones. These gas prices don't scare me. Not with my new peg making skills. I think. I mean, that's obviously the best one. That's the neatest one. That's the best way to do it. That's... Gypsy clothes pegs. That's a good one, that. So I've got my little bit of stick that I've debarked and smoothed down, and I've got this copper wire here. I don't know how much length I'm going to use. Let's have a look. I'm going to cut about 3 foot off. So hopefully I'm going to own that. Right, 3 foot of copper wire. Turn that over. Right, I've made that into a bit of a loop, a bit like hangman's noose really, or a rabbit snare. That once I put that in there and pull it tight, that'll close up. It will, but it's not tight. That's better. Reckon these are the pegs the posh neighbours might have used. Oh no, Doris. I paid 1.6 for my pegs. Mavis down the road's got the cheap ones. Right, if I put a loop there, and then come back on myself. I can go back up there, and then it's acting like a bit of a spring. Maybe pull that tight. That'll work. That'll work, but I need to pin that tight somewhere. Otherwise, it's just going to unravel. I think my original idea, splitting the wood and putting it down there, is better. So I'm going to do that again. Right, here we go. Pegmeister General. The first one I made out of the oak. It's alright, but it's not good, and it certainly wasn't the right material to make it out of, but it's not right. It did its job, and I suspect that'll probably last a lot longer than the other ones will. I'm going to make another one out of oak, but I'm going to make it in a different style. That was my first attempt. Second attempt, that was the first one I built this morning. I said built, made. And as I was putting this on and carving it, I thought I could make this a little bit neater. So I refined that idea, still with a piece of tin, but I bent the edges over. So that's a lot neater, a lot better. I think that'll last a lot longer. Then I had some copper wire that I'd stripped down. Yeah, I had it in my garage. It's been there years. I thought I'll try wrapping that around and see what that does. And that looks a bit neat. I'm sure they wouldn't have made them like this because they wouldn't have had access to that kind of copper back then. But it looks a bit neater. And that's the last one I made. So, as you can see, well, I'm thinking they got better as I went along. I'm sure I can do. I'm going to make a different one. I'm sure there's different styles of pegs. I'm going to experiment with the oak doing a different style without the band around the top, and see if I can do it that way. But I think that's been an interesting little learning curve. My favourite one's that. I just think it's a bit neater. But I think if I made any in the future, if I were making them, if somebody asked me to make some for them, that is how I would make them, with this like S shape that it hooked into itself. I think that's really good. That's neat and good. So that's free. These are a penny, and because of the fancy material used on this, these are tuppence. Let me know if you want any.